Well, did you take the challenge I offered you last time? You say, what challenge? What are you talking about? If you don't know what it is, go back and watch the TGIF episode we did last week. Some of you call yourself followers of Seeking with Sherry. If you're a follower, did you follow my suggestion? Or better yet, don't be a follower of me. Be a seeker of God and a seeker of, is Jesus Christ really real? Was he really real? And what does that mean to me? If you went to church on Sunday, you heard about how he was resurrected from the dead. He's alive today. He appeared to his disciples and many others in the days that followed his resurrection. Some even asked to see the scars in his hands and his feet to prove it was him. He breathed his Holy Spirit onto his disciples. He had promised to leave a comforter when he left this world. Today we talk about how Jesus changed the world. The most important part of that question is, has he changed me? Has he changed you? Because when Jesus changes us, gives us a new nature, a fresh, new heart and spirit, works will follow. Faith without works is dead. Don't have faith and sit on it. Allow it to inspire you. Before he died, Jesus told his disciples that he had done great things, but they would do even greater things than he had done. How could that possibly be? How could we possibly do greater things than he had done? Today we're going to concentrate on how Jesus' life and the disciples and followers that came after him, the Christians, have affected the medical world. Me, I have never touched someone and had them instantly healed of their disease. How could anything I do be greater than that? Or how could any doctor do anything greater than that? My study of how Jesus changed the world led me to an article by Jason Pierce called 15 Ways Christianity Changed History and Society. I'll give you a link to that article, and if you want to get ahead of me, go ahead and go out and read it now. We will be touching on subjects from this article, not necessarily every subject week after week, but throughout our episodes in the future, we will be coming back to this article. For a few decades, this new religion called Christianity struggled. The world was resisting the change that was coming. Christians were considered radicals. Many ended up dying for his faith. The disciples remained faithful until the end. According to Rosie Knowles, and I'll give you the reference in the comments, I'll quote here, "The Greco-Roman world was often cruel and inhumane. The weak and the sick were despised. Abortion, infanticide, and poisoning were widely practiced. The doctor was often also a sorcerer, and the power to heal equally inferred the power to kill. Among the pagans of the classical world, only the Hippocratic band of physicians had a different attitude. They swore an oath to heal and not to harm, and to carry out their duty of care to the sick." End quote. Paul, after a miraculous encounter with Jesus, changed his focus from hunting and killing Christians to leading them. He concentrated on bringing the Gentiles, those who followed pagan religions, into the fold as equals with Jews. Did you hear me say equals? By the 3rd century, Christians were blessed to have a ruler who shared their faith. I will continue the quote from Rosie Knowles. However, it wasn't until the conversion of Constantine that Christians were publicly able to express ethical convictions and undertake social reform. Even before that, stories of Christians caring for people had an enormous impact. In the 2nd century, when plague hit the city of Carthage, pagan households threw sufferers onto the streets. The entire Christian community responded. They were seen on the streets, offering comfort and taking them into their own homes to be cared for." End quote. This was the beginning of Jesus' impact on the world in the centuries after his resurrection. When I was preparing for this subject, at first I was struggling to find the historical information I was looking for. The internet just didn't seem to be concerned, I thought, about how Jesus and Christians changed the world. But when I discovered Jason Pierce's article, it inspired me to keep looking, and I uncovered a wealth of information, so much more than I could cover today. Check out the comments for multiple resources. The progression of medical knowledge and care had its roots in the laws of cleanliness that God had provided through Moses to the Jews. It was then further enhanced by Jesus' example of compassion for the sick, and his prayer to the Father, who knows exactly what is wrong and who's the ultimate healer. It continued to build as early followers practiced the acts of compassion that we've already discussed. Constantine was the first ruler to embrace Christianity. Before his time, medical care was only generally available to the rich, to their slaves, and to soldiers. Constantine encouraged the building of hospitals, and in the year 325, the Council of Nicaea directed that every city with a cathedral should also have a hospital. In the early 700s to 800s, Charlemagne furthered that idea by requiring that every cathedral should have its own hospital attached. Interestingly, I have observed that in my own city, 80% of the hospitals are still named for a saint or a major religious figure. What about your city or county? I also noticed areas where hospitals are now commonly named for universities and government agencies. Have we forgotten that all of this stemmed from Jesus' admonition to do greater works than he did? So many of these doctors, these researchers, were inspired by their compassion and a desire to express their faith through works. As our knowledge of the ailments and the treatments for the human body progresses, are we losing our knowledge of the one who programmed our bodies to heal? The source of all healing? Oh, I hope not. You who believe, pray. Pray for healing for yourself, and then improve your own habits of cleanliness, diet, and exercise, which were given by God. Pray for your doctor to have wisdom, and for yourself to discern which treatments to pursue. Advocate for those with medical needs that aren't being met. Help them as best you can. Christians have been doing this since the time of Jesus. Pray for believers to enter the medical field, those with compassion, a strong mind, a strong desire for knowledge, and a strong faith to seek God. Do you see what you can do, what Christians have been doing, if they believe and act on it? Oh boy, did Jesus change the world.
I am the Lord who heals you, the one who bore your